Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have a nice little bit of Terran versus Protoss coming up. It's going to be played out on Ahana, which is a map that I haven't cast a game on for a long time. So I'm quite happy about this because everything's gone over to Belshir now. It's like, oh, Belshir, new map, big Ahana, let's make the map bigger and everyone will like it more. But Ahana, it's got that family charm to it, but did you all get that joke I made? I hope you did, because it was meant to be pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Now, anyway, let's introduce these two players. Spawning in the bottom right position, we have got the blue Terran player. It's Dayshi. And his opponent spawning in the top left, the red Protoss player. It is StarDust. And that is who it is. I can assure you I got these replays directly. It's StarDust in the top left. So, yeah, all good. Anyway, Protoss versus Terran. It's fun. I love this matchup because there's loads of exciting things that can be occurring. The early game Hellbat drops are pretty swish. You've also got a lot of nice little timing windows that the Protoss players can try to hit. Terran players then take kind of a bit of a commanding role, especially if they're going infantry, because there's points where you can go in with Stim Marine Marauders, try and do some nice damage, dart back out again, and really try and work it out from there. But yeah, if it goes into late stages, then that's where things can get really interesting. The Colossi count, the high Templar count, Storms, getting Ghosts and Viking combinations correct, all make it really quite exciting to see what's going on, and also just makes all the trades so much more important, because especially late game at the moment there's a lot of Protoss players who are talking about the difficulties they're having with dealing with large ghost numbers, and that's because EMP is so strong against Zealots. That's the real big thing about it, is you can, well, not just Zealots, but it knocks out shields. So if you knock out the entire bunch of gateway support, or even if you just take out the High Templar first, the Protoss player warps in with a lot of gateway units, you then hit them with a massive EMP, and you then basically knock out most of their shields. The rest of the Terran army can really clean up that force effectively and easily, whereas they've got nothing really to do about it. Once a Protoss player loses their splash damage potential, it gets really difficult to try and come back from that. So you see Dayshi is opening with a Reaper first, so obviously can't jump up here, just going to come up, come and have a look around, a small escape route in the natural base too. So that's something that's always important to look at, is where's my Reaper going to be able to get out from other than the normal paths to stop it getting trapped. This is going to get some good scouting information, following up by a command center, so a Reaper expand completely safe on this map, and really quite a nice opening, to be honest, because you get that scouting information, you can harass a little bit. Reapers are quite difficult to deal with until you get out a Stalker. That's what it comes down to, is that trying to kill it with a Zealot is really quite difficult. But Reaper will be coming in now, going to try and get some damage. At the same time, we've got a single Zealot coming in here. We'll be able to put a stop to that SCV constructing anything. We see probes are getting pulled. That Reaper already getting a single probe kill. That's exactly what I would want. The Zealot getting a kill on the SCV will delay the natural base. Really frustrating. The Reaper now up to 2 probe kills. We see Chrono boosting a Stalker out ASAP, and once that comes out, this Reaper really will get shut down pretty hard, so that's why it's going to try and retreat. That Zealot is there. Of course, the first 2 Marines aren't yet down on the field, so this is where things are a little bit problematic, because there's nothing that Dayshi can do about this. The Zealot can just go to town, and yeah, the Reaper may be coming back, but it's going to take a long time to get here, and this command center is actually starting to get a little low, which is not what you'd really want. But the SCVs can come down there, continue construction, and obviously finish it off. And now with a good little bit of micro, these Marines should be able to get back fairly safely. Anyone who's played the Blizzard Masters game on the arcade will know that you can kill a Zealot with only 2 Marines, as long as the AI and there's no micro involved. But yeah, that's all cool. +1 infantry weapons is on its way out here for Dayshi, so this is leading towards what can become quite nice pushes, especially once the tech lab's done and you start getting Stim on its way. Natural Nexus is also down for StarDust, who's getting a robo on the back of this. This is really nice. It's going to be a nice steady tech up, nothing too much to worry about. You can see the bunker has been thrown down there, so defense position. Both players, in terms of their economical standpoint, fairly similar. Yes, there's an increased probe count at the moment for StarDust, but there's Mules. Mules make up that difference quite nicely. So things really going to plan. Very equal game for the time being. In terms of workers killed, 2 more killed by the Reaper than there was killed by StarDust, but Again, I'm not hugely concerned in any way because nothing crazy is going on. There's the mothership core popping out. Just taking a quick look, we've got the observer there, we've got the gases all looking up quite comfortably too. The marine count starting to get a little higher. Stim is on its way. The big thing we're keeping an eye out for is when the factory's thrown down and whether we're going to be getting any medevacs out, because once you start getting some medevacs on the field, that's when you start thinking, okay, this could be actually quite a powerful push. But it looks like these marines are going to move out only with +1, so that in itself can be really quite interesting to watch because, well, once you get +1, you can do a lot of damage, especially to stalkers, even before Stim is finished, and Stim is only 90 seconds of 170 complete, so that in itself is a long way back. Oh, this stalker does need to be quite careful here, because it is going to take a lot of damage, gets taken out, and this is where things get problematic. There isn't a sentry, just 2 stalkers up against all of these marines. This is a really nice little timing window here for Dayshi. I can hear warp-ins coming down, the mothership core there, but does not have enough money for a photon overcharge yet, still no force field. These marines can just come straight up the ramp, and this is a massive amount of problem for StarDust here. These marines and the single Reaper just going to keep pushing forward. The Stalker gets taken down, only 2 remaining, a single warp gate, there goes the photon overcharge, but these marines, they can just run away. Stim is still a couple of seconds away with the robotics bay trying to come down too, so this is really just StarDust trying to hold on until he can get Colossi out, and if he doesn't get them out shortly, he could be running into some problems. The marines are pulling back once more, another Stalker gets taken out, this push dealing so much damage with +1. Stim is about to kick in about 10 in-game seconds time. That's where these Stalkers are not going to have any chance. The first starport coming down behind this. There's only a couple of marines remaining, but they're just going to try and do as much damage as possible. Stim is now done, so they are going to go for it, but with the mothership core there and with so few marines available, then this should get cleaned up. But a couple more probes did get taken out, taking the complete work count 35 to 38, but round 2 already on its way across the map. And it may not be many marines, but with Stim and +1, this is going to be stupidly hard for StarDust to defend. The Stalker's pushing forward, but there goes down the Stim. One Stalker goes down, the mothership core also getting focused, and it will fall. Oh no, it doesn't, it just gets away. Probes were pulled instead. That Stalker is going to go down. There's basically nothing here to defend with. The mothership core has got to stay up because that is just going to be so essential. It just manages to there, but more probes are getting taken out. As you can see, 22 workers already being killed. Dayshi is in such a fantastic spot here. It's just untrue. He's working through all of these probes so quickly, and he's just following up with more and more marines. Back at home, he's got the missile tied up just to make sure the DTs don't cause many problems. He hasn't actually got any medevacs out yet. The first 2 just about to pop. A single Colossus is there, but another Stalker getting taken out, and a single Colossus isn't too scary if it has 0 support. It's got 1 sentry and 1 Stalker there. That's not enough to really hold it up. The probe count now 32 to 45 with the 2 mules there. Dayshi is ridiculously far ahead economically, and just being that far ahead is going to be such a massive thing for him, because he's going to be able to just keep on pumping stuff out. We can see that he's nearly got +1 tone infantry armor completed. The first forge is only just coming down now for StarDust. This is tough for him, okay? So what does StarDust need to do to stay in this game? Well, he needs to turtle up pretty hard. He needs to get his economy back in shape. He needs things like extended thermal lance here. The one thing that isn't really going, or can go in his favor, is the fact that the marauder count is only at 3. There are 3 being produced at a time, and that's in direct response to these Colossi. The Viking count is also 0 for the time being, so as long as the Colossi stay alive, there is potential that StarDust can make this work and can stay in this game, but it's going to be a really tough hold. Really tough hold. Dayshi is going to be putting on more pressure with the medevacs here now. Remember, up until now, all of these pushes have just had marines, nothing else apart from that. The Colossi are trying to move forward. There's the Stim. No force fields go down. A single Colossus taking quite a bit of damage, manages to stay up. The second one, though, does take a couple of shots, but a retreat force from Dayshi. That is exactly what StarDust needs to be doing. He needs to be pushing back, but that back Colossus with 2 HP, ridiculously close, literally 1% of its health remaining. Not too fun. The mothership core also sitting near the back does have enough energy for a photon overcharge to follow it through. +1 upgrades are done up against no upgrades for the Protoss player at the moment, but the third Colossus is now on the field. Extended thermal lance is about 35 seconds away, and once that kicks in, will mean the Colossi outrange marauders, and that makes things considerably easier for StarDust. But Dayshi, look at this, he's just rallying pretty much across the map with all of his units. He's got a sizable force here, and if we take a look at the army supply count, this says it all. 62 to 38. This next push is going to be ridiculously powerful. Will we see StarDust be able to hold it off? Well, we're about to see. He's moving up the ramp. Dayshi is doing some nice damage. There are those 4 Vikings there, which are really helping with the Colossi. One goes down, the second one taking a couple more shots. Once the shields are gone, it is basically dead. There it's going down, and still a lot of infantry remaining. The final Colossus goes, and there is the GG. Well played from StarDust. So congratulations to Dayshi, looking really on form there with a really the point he won that game was with that just pure marine with +1 push. He didn't even wait for stim. Really strong push, worked fantastically well for him. So congrats. Now, of course, if you enjoyed the cast, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment and subscribe. I get new games up daily, so I'll catch each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thanks for watching and bye for now.